Aries, let's take a look at the five energies surrounding you in this coming week. We have the core, love, career, challenge, and guidance energies we're going to take a look at. As always, everybody, remember to hit the subscribe and like button, and we'll move on. So, Aries, this is for the week of August 31st through September 6th. So, let's take a look at what's going on. And your core energy for that week, right out of the gate, is the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is coming up to tell you this is a great week to press ahead. It's staying focused. The energy is going to be around you to stay focused, have your willpower, and be able to move forward. This is a great energy to grasp and go with. Now, one of the things that comes with a caution is don't drive over other things and a willingness to get something done. But you do have that energy of get up, go for the walk. You've got the energy, complete a task. Maybe the energy will be coming that if you get focused and look at what you're trying to accomplish, this energy will open up, and spirit is going to open some things up for you where you can maybe see them through your third eye chakra. Now, what's this going to do as we move along in the week? So let's take a look at that. How would that drive and all help you? And particularly when we're talking about love, career, the challenge you're going to face, and then the guidance you're going to get to go with it. So, the Chariot is my favorite card in the deck. And the Chariot is always talking about taking control. You're going to have some opposing forces that are going to try to pull you off path. This is when you have the energy to stand up, use the word no, okay? And stay on your path and do what you need to do. So grab this energy, know that it's a great energy, and know what's happening with it. Now, when we come to talk about love, we get the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, this is talking about a time of celebration. It's a good base. That four is a solid base about knowing what you're building and everything in that will. See how that will goes right with your willpower, your drive, your spiritual life. These things, that where that fire is, that's where you're going to want to be. And that goes with that ability of that Chariot card. If you embrace that, you can start new. Love on its own, if you'll just relax, stay focused on you where you need to go. The love card in the Four of Wands is there to say, you know what? Just let the peace roll in and enjoy, and you'll have a great time this week. You'll bond with friends, you'll bond with other people, and this is a great place to begin for a love relationship. So it's talking about meeting people, being around people. If you tend to be a little bit of an introvert, that's okay, but maybe this time you might want to accept that party invitation. You might want to go on that date. Check it out. It's a good time to get out and mingle with people for your love life. And sometimes that takes focus of the Chariot. We don't want to go. We become creatures of habits. We don't want to go out to dinner by ourselves. Don't want to go to that party. We don't want to go do anything. Well, you know what? Nothing says you got to become a party animal. But this week, maybe you need to harness that Chariot spirit into your love life. Get off your butt, walk out the house, and go. And you're probably going to find out you're going to have a great time and very well meet some new people that could fall into that love source of your life, whether it be a relationship or just great friends. This very well could be one of those times. Now, when we're looking at career, ironically, we got the King of Coins. Strut your stuff. Get in here. Understand, on the career side of this, if you're staying focused, that king, that masculine energy, all right, he is not tearing off at a pace. You'll notice he is prancing through the streets. I own this. What Spirit is trying to say in your career this week, you can own it. This is about knowing what's happening. You're going to have some opportunities, but a king looks at everything. He looks at what's worked, where we got to go. This king is facing into the past. So I want you to remember, you might be facing some decisions this week. Has this worked before? What'd you learn from it? Did you succeed? Could you have done better? These type of things. Own it. This is be that masculine spirit. I don't care if you're male or female. grab that masculine spirit and move forward and say, this is mine. What this is saying is at work, you need to become the resident expert on whatever's happening. But even a king has advisors. Sometimes the king goes, I don't know. And a true leader will have advisors and say, you know what? I need your opinion on this. I've been asked to complete this task. What do you see? Ask 2 or 3 person, but then you may be able to take pieces of what these people are giving you and come up with the plan that's right for you. This is how your work is going to go this week. People will be looking to you for leadership. You can own it, and this is going to set you apart from everybody else in your work or whatever you're doing. Remember, stay focused. The overall core energy, the Chariot, you've got to stay focused. People are going to tell you different ways to do it. Do it your way, but you might want to listen what the king does. You know, that piece of that's a good idea. Piece of that's a good idea. I'm going to put together and then do it my way. But at work, own it, be the king, be the expert, and remember, a king comes with compassion. A good king, anyways. All right, so here we go. Now, what I found really, really cool for us in staying focused in our core energy is the challenge this week was what everybody thinks is one of the sweetest cards in the deck is the 6 of Cups. Now, Rob, that's a challenge. Yes. Don't be living in the past. You have to look at things, we have to remember it and see what worked. But your challenge is going to be either acting a little too childish and not stepping up and owning the responsibility of your core energy. And remember, you're driving this bus. We can't continue to blame everybody else. Or it's going to be living in the past and trying to make things the way they were. Okay? No, we can't. The past cannot always dictate the future, but it can dictate the actions you took. And do you want to repeat that same future? What do we always say about history? We need to know history so we know either mostly how not to repeat it or what we can do to progress. The 6 of Cups is there with kindness, but it's a challenge this week to not be living in the past, not get stuck in the past. It is going to be one of those things. If you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with some trauma from the past, and it's the Cups in the heart, in that hard looking place of where you're going to be. You know, that 6 of Cups is there. It's the challenge. And this Chariot is saying, you've got to take control of your emotions and your mental stability. You have to drive your bus. You have to move forward, okay? And this is going to be up to you. Now, here is an awesome thing in this, okay? The gift that you've been given, the guidance, the direction, the blessing is the moon, all right? Now, that's going to go hand in hand with the challenge of why, okay? Our moon tells you you have to use your intuition. You know when you're letting something beat you up or you're beating yourself up with something from your past. Now, ironically, in the moon card, there's always water, which is cups. That's the emotion, all right? And I want you to think of it this way, and there's always some type of creature crawling up out of the water. Go back to your core energy this week and what you're going to need to do and where that challenge was in that 6 of Cups. We have to keep our emotions and our mental balances in check. Listen to our gut. Don't let the creatures come crawling up out of the water and take you off path. Don't let that dark energy or that shadow energy of yourself that you don't like to face come up and be one of the things that's pulling you off course. Use your intuition. Know what's happening. In this, you will be able to succeed. Use the intuition. Use that core energy, that Chariot of I am going to stay focused. You might be very tired at the end of the week because in everything you're doing, it's going to require gumption, as we would say in the South. It's going to require that ability to get up and go, I'm doing my life this way. And you might not have been used to doing that. Follow your intuition. Look, you're trying to reach a goal. You're trying to get there. And if you're stuck, the intuition is saying you might have to do something different. Remember the two dogs. There's either a wild dog or a wild wolf or a domesticated animal, generally when you look through the tarot, that you're trying to get through to get to the goal. You may have to use both. Both of those may be at battle, okay? Remember your intuition. Remember your overall ability. You're in control. Don't let outside forces, outside things, or inside forces that you don't like control you. You can meet the challenge. You can have an awesome week. Aries, take this, do what you want, but you can own this coming week.